Yeah, well, if you think about this from an indexation perspective, and let's call it lifestyle indexation, and it becomes automated as well too, but people are locking themselves. That becomes the new normal, right? In terms of, I need Stan and Disney, and I need a gym membership, and I need this, and I need that. I need my OnlyFans membership, and everything that goes along with it.
Welcome to 360 Money Matters, where financial planners Billy and Andrew talk all things financial planning. This podcast aims to increase your knowledge and confidence with all things money. Each week, they will cover topics such as investing, cash flow, budgeting, saving, passive income, debt management, and much more, so you can live a life on your terms without limits.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 360 Money Matters podcast. I'm Billy and I'm joined by my co-host, Andrew. And Bill's, here we are, and on the Wednesdays we wear blue. Apparently so, that's our new uniform. Matching shirts today. Uncontentious. Actually, we're both wearing green colour pants as well too. And brown shoes. Yeah, there's clearly no uniqueness in this office. No, most definitely not. 360 financial colours. And your uniform. Exactly right. Andrew, what are we talking to everybody about today? So today we are talking all about the subscription economy and how that is killing our cash flow, death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, I like this. I really like it. And you know why I like it? Because it's true. And two, I think absolutely everybody is impacted by this in one way, shape or form.
Oh, absolutely. It is so easy. And yeah, I mean, it's something that you almost don't feel like you're spending. Yeah.
Because the amount's so small.
It just, the amount is so small and you're doing it with more and more things these days.
Yeah.
So have you noticed that it's not like, subscription used to just be your streaming services. Now all of a sudden everything is on a subscription. And yeah, we'll go through it, but I think reviewing that and saying, hey, does this actually still make sense for me? Just makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be realistic. In today's day and age, what are we talking about, right? So streaming services is probably the big one.
Yeah.
The other one that I'm finding that is creeping in, especially from a business sense, but also from a personal sense, software subscriptions. Yeah. And there's more toys to play with, and there's AI this, and there's this over there, and before you know it, it's only a small amount and $12 a month. And so subscription service is another one. Obviously, you could probably tell just by looking at me from a gym membership perspective. So gym memberships are also one. I'd say that's necessary, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's an investment in your health.
That's it.
But similar investment in your health, you've got, meal delivery.
Yep.
Now, you've got your Uber Eats and, subscription that's on that. I know that there's a couple of different methods where you get discounted, delivery and stuff like that.
Maybe like a Nice and Easy or something like that.
Yeah, and Easy and those types of businesses where you're actually, paid for meal on a subscription basis. There's kids, apps, games, AI tools, you talk about it. But it's just all of these weekly, monthly, 6 monthly charges. And I think that this is what feeds into when people are like, I earn good money, I don't overspend, I don't feel like I'm going out and living lavishly, but I've got nothing at the end of it. And this is just one of those things that are really feeding into it.
It's because they're invisible, because they're so small, they're invisible. And that's the problem. And you look at them and they're not, when you see those charges pop up, they're not enough of an inconvenience where you look at it and go, oh, it's a huge amount of money, I have to cancel it.
Yeah.
It's like only $15 here and $12 there and what have you. So you just let it go.
And it's like spending, $300 all in one hit.
Yeah.
Versus $15, $20 subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same thing.
Yep.
But making a decision to purchase something for $300, people tend to think about it a lot more. Versus, a few little subscriptions at $20 each. It doesn't seem like a hell of a lot. But they both equate to the same thing, and it's causing a big leakage on people's budgets. We're seeing it in practice.
I think the reason why the business model is so successful as well too, when you look at this, is that it removes the pain of paying.
Yeah.
Because it's so small, because it's automated, and you can almost think the same as well too in terms of tap and go.
Yep.
It removes that friction, and it doesn't feel real, and you can't
I don't know, you can't feel the impact. The emotional connection with spending money is gone and it's broken. And it's a great business model because it gets us to spend more and more each and every time without feeling it. And it becomes normal. Like everybody that you talk to these days has, let's just pick on subscription services. I don't know one household that has just one.
Oh, I actually don't have any. I think I've got 3.
Spotify and
Netflix, Prime,
that's my father.
Disney.
That's what we share. That's anything. Paramount, Disney we pay for,
Paramount, Stan
Sport for soccer.
AO.
Yeah, there's a lot. And even when you're talking about frictionless spending, I mean, there's also, yes, it's the convenience, but all of a sudden, so let's rewind, say, 10 years ago. And it was still around 10 years ago, but not to the same degree. But if you needed to, let's say, go buy, a new shirt or a new suit or a pair of pants or anything, like it was all a shopping day. Like you needed to go out to the shops, you needed to lock the day aside, decide that, hey, I'm going to go look around, see this, try on different things, blah, blah, blah. That you've limited your spending to a window of time.
Yeah. Yes.
Is now your spending is an unlimited time in that you're sitting on the couch watching TV, after the kids have gone to bed, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, bang, click of a button, Apple Pay. You're not even needing to
phone in your hand,
add
or your computer
or anything. It's already stored into your phone, and it's at your door in a couple of days. So your friction of spending has, yes, there's a convenience aspect to it, but in terms of what it's doing for people's budgets, it's tearing it apart.
Yeah, well, if you think about this from an indexation perspective, and let's call it lifestyle indexation, and it becomes automated as well too, but people are locking themselves. That becomes the new normal, right? In terms of, I need Stan and Disney, and I need a gym membership, and I need this, and I need that. I need my OnlyFans membership, and everything that goes along with it. What it does do is it locks people into slowly and almost invisibly as well too, but it locks people into higher fixed monthly commitments without people noticing.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it just creeps up and creeps up and creeps up, and it's not an issue until it's an issue. But this is the invisible part of it, and all of those things that you were describing that make it convenient and frictionless actually are the things that catch us out in the end as well too. So fantastic business model, absolutely fantastic business model, but it's become the new normal.
Yeah.
Everybody that I know, everyone's got a, say, a Spotify subscription. That's normal. Everyone's got multiple streaming service subscriptions. That becomes the new normal.
And what we're starting to see is that the higher income earners, like they've got the worst leakage from a subscription side of things, because it's so much easier when you're earning a higher level of income to just say, okay, convenience is more important to me. And what's an extra $10 a month? What's an extra $20 a month? What's an extra $5? And all of a sudden your lifestyle, just to maintain, your lifestyle is X amount, and it's significantly higher than what it otherwise would have been. And yes, don't get me wrong, I understand and subscribe to the fact that there are certain things where convenience is more important, and the time that's associated with going to do a task is more important. But this mentality of just subscription service for absolutely everything in your life, like I saw them, and like I don't want to criticize it because I don't even know what it costs and whether it is value for money. I saw on someone's budget a toilet paper subscription. And I'm like, come on, like it doesn't take that much to just order toilet paper when you're doing your grocery shop. Like you're either ordering it if you're doing, your groceries online, or you're just buying toilet paper when you go in. I'm like, toilet paper subscription? Like, is that where the world got into these days? I don't know.
That's a really interesting one. Out of all the things that could be on a subscription,
toilet paper is.
Yeah. And it's not like it's a high cost item where you might do that and save a significant amount. You might pay $10 for a big bundle.
Maybe it came out of COVID when everyone was hoarding toilet paper. That was the only way to do it.
as you could have fit it in there.
Out of all of the things that we could have done, toilet paper was lives in society. That's what we decided is
more important than anything. It's more important than they use it around the world, and we're worried about wiping our butts.
Yeah.
The thing that catches us out, multiple overlapping subscriptions. So that's really easy to do as well too. And they pop up. And once again, you don't notice them, or they're too small, they're invisible, and they just keep going and going and going. So that's obviously one. The other thing that I've also found as well too, talking about the invisibility of it and the smartness of the business model, is if you think about your traditionally, now I'm going to show my age. I'm only 39, people, public service announcement. You get your bank statement. What's a bank statement? I know, Andrew. But you'd get your bank statement, you'd go through it, and it's a paper statement, right? So you might go through it, and it might be 2 pages long or 2.5 pages long, right? That's because we never really paid with anything with our account. Yeah. There was all, withdrawal with cash. That's that plastic stuff that you see, polymer. It's not plastic, right? But now, because everything is tap and go, there's hundreds of transactions on your statement. It's really hard to pick out what's what unless you're scouring it. Yeah. So it becomes, I'm talking about that invisibility, and that overlap becomes harder and harder to detect, because I guess we're getting charged more for convenience.
Yeah.
It's that convenience associated with all of it.
And it's the same as when you're starting to think about, and it's not just the subscriptions, it's that everything in our life has now become a monthly payment as opposed to being a once paid expense. So you look at child support. I was going to say that you look at, you buying a car. Yeah. Previously you need to consider it. You do it once every 15 years. All of a sudden, you're 30, 40, 50 grand that you need to pay for a car. All of a sudden is a really, really big expense that you save up for, and you go and you make this purchase. And now the landscape has changed, and it's a lot less friction to just sign up to a $700 a month payment, as opposed to looking at, oh shit, I actually need to spend $50,000. My account is going to go down by that amount of money.
Yeah.
It has changed the way that people behave, and all of a sudden, instead of making that decision, every 15 years because it's such a large decision, now it's, hey, great, I can afford a $700 a month. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead with it. Same as going on holiday. More and more people are, financing holidays on credit cards and personal loans and buy now, pay later. And it's created this mindset of not actually recognizing when you're spending money and how much money you're spending. And modern spending is now just a monthly repayment as opposed to, something that you're making a concerned decision on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the phrase and the terminology that comes to mind, and one of my friends' parents or dad did this and said this, is society is moving to a user pay model. So whatever you do, you're going to pay. So going back to that car one, interestingly enough, about your car repayments versus paying it outright, there's now car manufacturers on the market where you pay a subscription fee each month, and you can choose different models of vehicles. So if this weekend you're going away, so you want the hatch because you need to put stuff in the back, or you want a sporty car, or you're going off-road won't work, but you get the SUV or whatever it may be. So there's that. Or if you think about, say, people in Los Angeles, where now they've got fully self-automated driving vehicles, you'd have a subscription to something like an Uber or an Uber equivalent. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. But this whole user paid model, without sort of digressing too far away from the topic, what I think it does do is it just adds to the fixed monthly commitments that we need to earn in order to keep our life sort of doing its thing and keeping the lights on, so to speak. And I think it can get very, very onerous very quickly, because it can sneak up on you. And then it's difficult to try and unwind that, because if you're unwinding it, if you're getting rid of the subscription services, if you're backing off some of those things, you actually feel like you're taking a lifestyle hit and you're sacrificing because of that. Yeah, great business model.
Oh, it is marketing genius. And for the businesses that are earning money on a subscription service, it's fantastic and probably the best thing that they've ever done. But to the end consumer, to the end person, Now, I think that it's one of the worst things that has happened to household budgets and to people spending. Bills, what do we do? Like we've, spent the last 15 minutes just, showcasing the issue and what's the problem and how it can quickly snowball out of control. But what the hell do you do with it?
Look, I think firstly you need to recognize that there's something there. I don't want to call it an issue, but you recognize that there's something there that you want to change. So firstly, having an awareness of it and then setting yourself a goal, I think makes sense. And the goal could be that, starting off, the most obvious place that I would go to is looking at your bank statements, right? So you probably don't want to wait till those paper statements come in. You want to go online and check that. But seriously, I'd start with your bank statements and start to look at those and maybe look at those over a rolling 2 or 3 month period and seeing what's in there and trying to categorize those and saying, okay, what is that? Can I live without it? Yes, no. If you can, cancel it, get rid of it immediately, but set yourself a goal that you're going to do that every couple of months. I think it's good financial hygiene to do that stuff anyway, but that's definitely where I'd be starting from. Andrew, what will we do next?
Yeah, I mean, what I've now started to do, or have told people is a great thing to do, is actually list out just in whatever you want to do, notes on your phone, an Excel document, Word. I don't care when you do it, but list all your subscription services out. Like, what am I paying for that's on a subscription service? And I think that reality and rubber doesn't hit the road until you actually see it. And it's really easy to, just say, yeah, I've got a few streaming services and, maybe I've got a car loan and maybe, Coles delivery. But okay, and I need all of those things. Fine. But once you list it out and the reality starts to hit you of, okay, this is how much I'm spending on a monthly basis on all of this, that's when you realize that, okay, this number adds up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And categorize it. Like, what's essential? Yeah. What's actually valuable to me? And, I don't need it to survive, but it is actually valuable. And what's just plain wasteful. And anything that is wasteful, you get rid of straight away. Anything that's valuable, you actually consider and say, how valuable is it and do I need it? And the thing that I always say is, do you know how easy it is to turn back on a subscription? Like we didn't have binge, and I accidentally clicked on to binge on the TV because it was still there as an app. And it was, do you want to reestablish your account? Like, it's remembered all of your data. Like, it's not like you lose these subscription services. Now I gotta call somebody. It's not your old Foxtel days, and I gotta call someone up and stay. Oh, I've got to come, and they like. Trust me, they will get you back on in the blink of an eye. Your favorite new show comes back on, and it's back on the street. Like, you can be on within 30 seconds, not even. So be aggressive with cancelling them, and recognize whether you actually miss it or not. Because when you've got 10 different streaming services and you're now down to 2, a lot of the times that's still plenty of entertainment. Like, I don't need any more than that. Back when it was channel 7, 9, and 10, and what was on at that time was the only things that you really had to watch. You were fine. And now with everything still on demand and with a couple of streaming services, you can still watch plenty of entertainment. But be aggressive with cancelling it, guys. It's not hard to get it back, really.
That's a really good one. I actually think, just on that, thinking about it a little bit differently and saying, just have one for a month.
Yeah.
And then go into another one and then go into another one. So you're still only paying for one each month. But what it does do is it maybe allows you to explore and find stuff that you wouldn't have ordinarily watched or liked or resonated with simply because you had another streaming service to look out and to go to.
Don't be like me. Don't be stupid, right? Like, I was paying for Optus Sport. I only use Optus Sport to watch the Premier League. I was paying for Optus Sport, just forgetting about the fact that, for 3 months of the year, it's not even on because the season's over, but you're still paying for it. Like, just cancel your subscription when the season's done, and then when the season starts and you want to watch it, then great, turn it back on. But don't be stupid like Andrew.
Or you have a subscription service just to watch the same thing. So our kids watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine on repeat.
Yeah.
That's always a winner. And that's worth it, by the way. but Drive to Survive as well, too, the Formula One documentary, right? So, or docuseries. So yeah, go through it and dig deeper. The other thing too that I thought too is if you do that, I mean, there's so many subscription services. You could probably get through most of the year on a different streaming service before you go back. So every time you're doing that, if you do that, there's going to be new content on there anyway.
One in, one out.
One in, one out. I really like that idea. To cancel aggressively, I think with that, there has to be a means to an end as well too. So you cancel aggressively, but you generate a certain amount of, call it free cash flow or savings. It's identifying that and saying, okay, we're now saving ourselves, I don't know, $100 a month. The number doesn't make any difference, right? But make sure that you grab that and you actually do something with that. Give that a job. What are you going to do? You're going to invest it. You're going to chuck it on your home loan. You're going to do something with it. Make sure that you isolate that and you actually do something with it. Because if you don't,
you just get leakage in a different area.
You just get leakage in a different area, and it just goes into the bucket of everyday life.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the intent. So redirect that into savings, offset, investing, emergency funds, you name it. Otherwise, it'll disappear somewhere along the line.
Yeah, and be intentional around your spending. It's not to say, what we're trying to say here is not, don't do any subscription services, don't get a car loan, don't, spend money for any of your personal, lifestyle or anything that goes towards your lifestyle. Like, just invest all of your money and, survive on 2-minute noodles, never eat out. Like, that's not what we're trying to say here. What we're trying to say is make a decision on where you're actually going to spend that money and make sure that it's useful and that you're enjoying it. And, you're also putting money aside for the other things that you're trying to achieve, whether that's your wealth, whether that's your retirement, whether that's your holidays. With that, make a decision to spend the money. If you're going to spend, like for me, I can spend $200 a month on, subscription services, and it would make no difference whatsoever to my lifestyle. But I put $200 a month aside and I go on a, local, 3-4 days away with my family.
Yeah.
I can tell you, like, the $200 a month that, I'm going away, whether it's interstate or whether it's within Victoria and spending time with my family, I'm going to enjoy that a lot more than, the $200 a month that's just leaking out its subscription services. So make a decision on where you spend your money and make sure that it's either doing something that's going to benefit you financially or something that is actually going to give you a tangible benefit from a lifestyle perspective.
Andrew, well said. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Netflix, for today's episode as well, too.
Of all the subscription services that you cancel, just make sure that that's the one you don't.
Because it's got Brooklyn Nine-Nine and it's got Drive to Survive on there. But Andrew, thank you for today.
Yes, and to Netflix, if you are listening, we will take sponsorship money. And Bills, thank you. Thanks to our viewers and our listeners for tuning in, and I hope that you got some value out of that one. If you did, like, subscribe, and share that around, and we look forward to catching you on the next podcast.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening today. If you have any questions on what we talked about or would like to have a chat about your money journey, visit us at 360fs.com.au. The information in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into account your personal objectives, financial situation, or needs. It is not financial, legal, or tax advice and should not be relied upon as such. You should consider whether the information is appropriate to your circumstances and seek professional advice before acting on any of the information provided. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. This information is provided by Billy Amiridis and Andrew Nicolaou of 360 Financial Strategists Pty Ltd, authorized representatives and credit representatives of Akumin Financial Planning Pty Ltd.